At the heart of a bustling city in Southeast Asia, where ancient traditions blended with modern life, he loved teasing the teachers. They whispered loudly during lessons, rolled their eyes at Mr. David's explanations. One day, the school announced a debate competition, and to Ethan's horror, Mr. David nominated him as team leader. After class, Mr. David called him aside and said in a gentle tone, "You have a quick mind." Ethan, this time, Ethan's team was prepared. No longer the rebel trio. Ethan, Sarah, and Jake became role models. There was a community bound by respect and guided by the echoes of wisdom. What did you think? How would you have handled the situation if you were Ethan? What's the most important thing you learned from this tale? Please let us know in the comments below. Give us a like and share it with your friends. So keep watching and let the magic of storytelling inspire and enlighten your path. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, may the echoes of wisdom and respect resonate in your hearts and minds. By doing so, you'll help us reach more people and spread the message of kindness, empathy, and understanding that we strive to convey in every tale. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And it all started with a simple nod of the head and a shift in perspective. Other students began to look up to them, not just for their achievements, but for their newfound respect toward teachers. One evening, as they sat under the same tree, sharing snacks and stories, Ethan reflected, "I used to think respect was just a rule. Now I get it's what makes people hear and trust you," including real-life events, historical tales, and a rich diversity of human experiences. Each story is carefully crafted to not only entertain, but also to impart valuable life lessons and moral values. His opening speech was clear, respectful, and acknowledged Mr. David's guidance. Sarah and Jake supported him with solid points. Their teamwork seamless. The audience applauded. And when the results were announced, they won second place, a victory that felt like gold. To Ethan, can you recall a time when you realized the importance of respecting others? Perhaps it was a moment when you listened to someone else's advice and it proved beneficial, or when you understood the significance of acknowledging someone as guidance. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories have the power to inspire others. After the event, he approached Mr. David, bowing, slightly a gesture he had once mocked. "Thank you, sir," he said sincerely. "But a quick mind without respect is like a ship without a rudder." Ethan wanted to protest, but the firm yet kind look in Mr. David's eyes silenced him. Reluctantly, he agreed, dragging Sarah and Jake into the team. Preparation was a complete disaster. Ethan dismissed Mr. David's advice, insisting they could wing it with their natural charm. Sarah and Jake followed his lead, turning rehearsals into a comedy show with meaningless jokes. When the competition day arrived, they faced a rival team from another school. Equipped with well-researched arguments and polished delivery, Ethan's team floundered. His opening speech fell flat, and Sarah and Jake couldn't offer any substantial points. The stern faces of the judges and the audience, as silent, stood in stark contrast to their usual laughter. They lost miserably, finishing last, and even skipped homework, claiming it was too boring. That evening, alone in his room, he replayed the day in his mind. The image of Mr. David's patient guidance during their chaotic practices haunted him. The next morning, driven by a newfound resolve, he sought out the teacher. "Mr. David, I messed up," he admitted, his voice low. "I didn't listen to you." And it showed. Mr. David smiled warmly, his eyes reflecting understanding. "Respect is not just a gesture, Ethan. It's listening, truly listening to those who guide you. Would you like to try again?" Ethan nodded, and over the next few weeks, he threw himself into a second chance at the debate with Mr. David's dedicated mentorship. The teacher taught him not only about constructing arguments, but also about humility and the power of kind words. Seeing Ethan's transformation, Sarah and Jake joined in, their attitudes shifting as they learned from the experience. One afternoon during a break, they sat under a tree outside, surrounded by snacks, soda cans, and laughter. Jake exaggeratedly mimicked Mr. David's accent, while Sarah sketched a cartoon of him with an oversized nose. "No one listens to his words anyway," Ethan said with a smirk, echoing a caption they had seen in a local comic book. Unbeknownst to them, their laughter carried, and a few nearby students shook their heads in disappointment. Particularly, Mr. David Nguyen, a soft-spoken teacher with silver hair and a calm demeanor. During one lesson, as Mr. David wrote the philosophy of harmony on the blackboard, Ethan leaned over to Sarah, stuck out his tongue, and mimicked the teacher's precise handwriting. Sarah burst into laughter, and Jake joined in, tossing a crumpled paper ball across the room. Mr. David turned, his expression unreadable behind his glasses, but he simply adjusted them and continued the lesson. The trio dubbed this their rebel phase. Unaware of the disapproving murmurs from their classmates, stood the International Harmony School. This institution, with its towering gates and classrooms adorned with elegant calligraphy, became the new home of Ethan Parkera, Lanky USA. His family had relocated due to his father's new job, and Ethan, with his spirited nature, sharp wit, and sense of humor, found himself struggling to adapt to the unfamiliar customs of his new environment. Compared to the casual classrooms of his old high school in the U.S., where he could joke freely, this school exuded a solemnity he had never experienced. From his very first day, Ethan noticed a striking difference. The students bowed slightly to their teachers and spoke to them with a reverence he had never encountered. This both intrigued and amused him. During his initial history class, he whispered to Sarah Blonde, 15-year-old Australian girl sitting beside him, her blue eyes twinkling with mischief. "What's with all the bowing?" Sarah giggled and replied, "It's some old school respecting. My dad says it's cultural, but it's kind of funny, right?" Soon, they befriended Jake, a 16-year-old British boy with a cheeky grin, and the trio became inseparable and infamous. Ethan quickly emerged as the ringleader. Days turned into weeks, and their antics grew bolder. The turning point arrived unexpectedly. As they trudged back to class, Ethan felt a wave of shame wash over him. The rematch took place a month later. Word of their change spread throughout the school. In the bustling city where ancient traditions intertwined with modern life, there was more than just a school. Dear fellow scholars, we've reached the end of our story today. Now, here's a question for you. And for those who are curious about where our stories come from, we draw inspiration from various sources. If you've enjoyed our stories and the insights they offer, please don't forget to show your support. We're eager to continue sharing captivating stories with you, and we invite you to be an integral part of our journey.